My name is Joe Krakow. I'm a sommelier in New York City, and I have many years of cooking experience. And so tonight we're going to start bringing them together. I'm going to be teaching you how to cook for yourself, for your loved ones, but also how to entertain people and cook for them. Tonight we're going to be doing one of my favorite ingredients prepared in two ways. We're doing scallops. We're going to do a crudo, or a raw preparation of scallop, kind of an Italian take on it, and then seared scallops as a main course. So we have some really nice sea scallops that we got at the local farmer's market, and these are from Long Island. We've got some Gaeta olives, which are from Italy, from Campania. They're a black olive, but they're not quite as briny. They have a little bit more fruitiness to them, a touch more like of a blueberry quality, which is quite nice. Those are just quartered. Marcona almonds. Marcona almonds are from Spain. They've got a little bit softer crunch, a little bit more mellow texture, and a touch of saltiness to them as well. A little bit of citrus. We have some limes, and we also have a Cara orange, which is a variety of Valencia orange. A little bit more of a complex fruit profile instead of just citrus. You tend to get a little bit more red fruit to it, a little bit nice sweetness to it. It's very nice. For a little crunch, also we have some watermelon radish, and then some herbs. We have fresh mint and a little bit of arugula for spice. So we'll get the vegetables ready. We'll start off with our watermelon radish. So just cut the back off. Peel a little bit of the exterior off, and then you can use a mandolin to slice it thinly. Then you see that pretty watermelon color, pink and white, and then green on the outside. Stack them up and cut them in half. Watermelon radish is really nice. They're not quite as spicy as like a breakfast radish or a black radish, but they have a nice crunch. Microplane. Take a little bit of the exterior of the citrus off for flavoring. Put those into a bowl, set that aside for right now. But then to make segments of an orange, or supremes as they teach in culinary school, use a utility knife. Cut the top, cut the bottom, and you're gonna make kind of curved cuts following the shape of the orange from the top to the bottom. Primarily you wanna remove the pith, which is the thick white part, which has a touch of bitterness to it. And we're gonna discard that. But we wanna just kind of make a very light sawing motion. Just discard these. Over a bowl, again, take your utility knife, and you'll see that there are these little white ridges that separate the different segments. We're gonna make two cuts, one on either side, and that'll drop into our bowl. Now, you've got this beautiful piece of mush here in your hand. Just give it a squeeze. Next, more citrus, lime, same thing, zest. Tap it in a bowl, same thing, cut it in half, and give her some juice. Give it a squeeze. So, set that aside for right now. Scallops. These are really, really nice scallops. They're very fresh. They have a nice firm texture, and they're also not wet. They're nice and dry. On the side of it is an area called the foot. It's not beautiful to eat, so we're just gonna pull it off. These can be saved in a little container, freeze it, and then you can use them for stock. We are just about ready to plate. Got two bowls that I made. There's kind of a light dish in the bottom to hold that beautiful citrus juice. Scallops. Just gonna take them with our utility knife and just give it a couple slices, not too thin, so that you have some toothiness to it. So 2 slices. Shingle it around, leave a little bit of space in the middle for our garnish. Got our juices here. We're going to add a little bit of sea salt. Controne pepper. It's a very lightly spicy pepper, also from Campania, so same as the olives. A little bit of spicy olive oil from Tuscany. Just again, a little bit of spice to the item. And lightly seasoned. Tastes very good. You get a little bit of grassiness, you get the complexity of citrus from the lime and the Cara. We're just gonna take a little bit of that juice, season our watermelon radish, touch of salt to the watermelon radish. I'd mentioned mint. Just gonna tear it. A little bit of the Cara. We're just kind of piling things up. Try to get a little height with the dish. Our last 2 garnishes, the almonds and the Gaeta olives. Saltiness or spiciness as well. Just a couple pieces of arugula on top. Little sea salt, just a little sprinkle, light even coat on our scallop. Take our citrus, vinaigrette. When you get to your guests, get them all seated at the table, and you say, our scallop crudo, garnished with a citrus vinaigrette. And that is it for our first course. So now we're going to come back with our main course of seared scallop. There's going to be some creamy polenta on the bottom, some wilted spinach, and then we're going to do a caper brown butter pan sauce after we sear the scallops. So the things that we've got prepped ahead of time, we've got 1 small onion, small diced, 2 cloves of garlic, finely chopped, 3 sprigs of thyme, chopped, 3 sprigs of parsley, just the leaves picked off and then small chop. We've got a lemon, we have a tablespoon of capers chopped, 2 tablespoons of caper juice, which we'll be using for the sauce. We've got some butter, we have a pint of chicken stock, and our spinach has been cleaned and dried. And then we've got this really cool polenta from, again, our farmer's market. It's a variety called Bloody Butcher, which is a red grain of corn of like a reddish color to it, which is kind of cool. Adds a little color to the plate. We're going to start the polenta first. Our butter is hot, onion will go in. Just a little bit of salt. We're just gonna sweat it, medium heat, sweat. The waters are released from it. The texture of the onion softens and it creates more of a sweet flavor. All right, our onions are nicely sweated. We're gonna add a couple items to make it more flavorful. Half of our garlic, so that's 1 clove, and half of our thyme. We're just going to give this quick stir. I already smell the aromatics jumping out of the pan. I'm going to add 1 pint of stock and 1 pint of water. We're gonna bring those to the boil and we'll move on to the next step. All right, a couple minutes have passed. Our pint of stock and pint of water have came up to a nice boil, and we have 1 cup of our Bloody Butcher polenta, and we're going to whisk and pour in the polenta slowly. If you stir it all in, you can get clumps, so it's nice to have hot liquid and whisk in your polenta. Back up to a boil, lower our heat a touch, and give it a light simmer for 5 or so minutes until desired texture and consistency. So the polenta has came to a nice consistency. It's got nice thickness. It's been seasoned with salt. On the stove, we're going to add just a little bit of oil to both of them. First off, we're going to sear our scallops. A little bit of salt on both sides. And our pan has reached the smoke point, which is perfect, so we want to get a nice sear on them. Nice hot pan. You heard that little sizzle, so drag it across the pan, and then lay it 1 time. Drag it, and set it. Don't put them too close to each other, otherwise they will sweat and not sear. Now that they're in place, don't mess with them, just let them sear. In our other saute pan, again, just a touch of oil. Wilt our spinach. Don't need searing heat, just hot. You'll see the oil kind of ripples in the pan. It doesn't need to be scorching hot and jumping up out of the pan. With a set of tongs, give it a light fold. Almost ready here. Touch of salt. Scallops, still doing good over here. And if we take a nice close look, starting to get some caramelization on the exterior. It's called the Maillard reaction. It's a browning of proteins at high temp. All right. Our spinach is about halfway wilted. There's some that's not cooked at all, and some that is fully cooked. Kill the heat. We're gonna go back to our microplane and a lemon, and we're just gonna add a little bit of lemon zest. Just the skin of the lemon. Hasn't started releasing any liquid yet because it's not overcooked. I'm gonna take it out of our hot pan. Now we're getting that beautiful seared color on the outside of the scallop. That nice dark golden brown. That's what we're looking for. And they're starting to firm up. Now we're just going to give them a quick flip. Lower our heat a touch, add 1 more nice big tablespoon of butter. We got the rest of our garlic and thyme. The butter is starting to turn brown around the edges here. That is what we're looking for. Our scallops, we're just gonna give them a little swizzle in that brown butter. And now they are perfect, ready to come out. Lower that heat down a touch. Okay, our garlic's starting to brown. Get that off the heat. Add our capers. And that 2 tablespoons of caper juice. And for good measure, a splash of our white wine. You're just about done. Turn our heat all the way to low. Let it reduce and thicken just a touch. We've got this nice kind of golden, toasty, beautiful sauce here. Just give it a quick taste. Get the saltiness from the caper. There's a nice toastiness from the butter. We're going to add a touch more acidity from our lemon juice and some chopped parsley for color. Nearing completion here. As our sauce has reached our nice thickness, we're going to add 1 more tablespoon of butter, and that'll thicken our sauce. Got our plates. Just going to flat plate this time. Polenta. Just put a nice big spoonful on the bottom. Our spinach, right in the middle. Our scallops. Touch of citrus right on those guys. Just give them a little brightness. If you put them all together in the right way, they get this nice little Triforce shape. For any Zelda players out there. And just nestle those right on top. Again, kind of shingle them 1, 2, 3, and you get this nice little Triforce. Put that right on top. Any juice that came off, definitely don't want to waste that. Put that into our brown butter parsley caper sauce. 1 spoonful on top. And just a little bit around. Seared diver scallops, bloody butcher polenta, wilted spinach, and a brown butter caper sauce. A nice wine to go with this is burgundy. This is one of my favorite producers from Burgundy, France, named Jean-Philippe Fichet. This is a 2013 Bourgogne Blanc, old vine selection. It's great white burgundy. It is Chardonnay, but it's not a buttery, oaky American Chardonnay. It's got really bright acidity, light smokiness to it, but it's got complexity and depth and a really great minerality to match the creamy minerality of the scallop and the brininess of the caper sauce for our main course tonight. Again, my name is Joe Cracklow. Thank you so much for joining me, teaching you how to cook, entertain. God bless. Good night.